Hello, guys, and welcome back to another video of Real Telugu Talks. And today we're doing a not a deep dive, switching it up a bit. We're doing a what went wrong with. And today's film is Radhe Shyam, starring Prabhas, Pooja Hegde, and directed by um I can't. This guy, he thinks he's James Cameron, bro. Radha Cameron, bro. This guy, straight up, we call him Radha
I didn't
Kumar.
even know which way you were going with that, man.
His name is Radha Kumar, but like he pegs himself to be James Cameron. He thought he took the Titanic of Indian film. Just wasn't it. Just wasn't it. But before we get into what actually went wrong with the movie, let's start with talking about what went right. Like what we
No,
liked
no, 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 no.
about the film,
No,
though.
before we even start with that, bro, just talk
Yeah.
about your general opinion of the movie. Because I know you liked the movie.
Okay, yeah. See, I'll be honest. I am in the very small, like maybe 1% of the general TFI audience that enjoyed Radhe Shyam. And that was purely because of the fact that went into the movie, like I went to theaters naturally. I went into the movie expecting a love story. And that's all I got. I just got a pure, unfiltered love story. And so that's why I enjoyed it per se, but I will agree to the fact that it has some blatant issues within, especially the screenplay
I'm
aspect
the
of the
exact
film.
same way, right? I didn't watch this movie in theaters, right?
Hmm.
But I'll tell you what, like, before people just, like, come after us or, like,
Yeah.
just look at this and be like, dude, they just don't like the. No, bro. Like, actually, this is
Hmm.
one of the. Like, I said the same thing for Saho as well, which is, like, a different
Hmm.
conversation for another day. But both of them were actually concept wise extremely good
Yeah,
attempts.
100%.
Like, and in that sense, they
Hmm.
fell short for
Hmm.
the standards that we have, especially,
Hmm.
because big hero like Prabhas, like, the
Yeah.
standards will be there. But also, just in general, falling short of the concept that we had, right?
Hmm.
But given, like, actually what the output was,
Yeah.
I actually didn't think it was that bad
Hmm.
for Radhe Shyam, and I thought it was okay. But again, if you look at it from a holistic movie perspective, it definitely
Hmm.
had its flaws. Like,
Yeah.
there were bits and pieces that just didn't line up,
Hmm.
and not even flow, but just didn't piece well together to
Hmm.
get the output that you want in a film like this.
Hmm. And genuinely speaking, you mentioned Saho, which I want to say it is a discussion for another day. But both Saho and Radhesham, like you said, concept-wise, idea-wise, are really good. It was just that the screenplay issues were so massive, it's
Right.
hard to ignore. Especially when it like you can put Saho aside, but like just strictly talking about Radhesham, there are a good amount of issues within the screenplay, which I was just not expecting, you know? And but before we dive deeper into those issues, let's actually start about what aspects worked and what aspects didn't work. Like we'll talk about what worked, right? So what worked in Radhesham for you, dude?
I would say we can go one by one.
Hmm.
I don't know how you feel. I personally thought the visuals were solid.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Like, visuals wise, we
Hmm.
talk about how visuals can enhance a movie,
Hmm.
but it's not necessarily like a must have, right?
Hmm.
Visuals, if you have like a solid enough visual
Hmm.
and a strong story, it'll be a good movie.
Hmm.
But anytime you just tick up the visuals
Hmm.
and actually get like elite visuals, it can
Hmm.
always enhance the look of a movie, right?
Hmm.
It there's no wrong you can do with enhancing visuals and
Yeah.
having good cinematography in general.
Hmm.
And that's
Now,
what this
I
movie
agree with
had.
you. Hmm.
100%.
The visuals definitely worked very well, and for me, this one scene comes to mind particularly. It's the first encounter between Pooja Hegde and Prabhas on the train, right?
Mhm.
He's like she ties like her scarf to her waist or something, and she throws it to Prabhas and is like na baruni moye galawa. And then so what she does is she leans out the window, he wraps around the pole, and like leans out back seeing her, and we get like this 360-degree pan of them two hanging out of the train. And akara anni work outai. The visuals work, the chemistry between the two leads work, the music 100% works. And see, that's like one scene where it's like the visual of having that sort of um dawnish reddish sky with the blue sea on the train, that just looked beautiful, and it was definitely one of my favorite scenes in the film. And so the visuals throughout the film worked very well until we got to the climax,
Yeah,
until we got to the Titanic. um but other than that, another aspect that worked for me, people will probably hate me for this, I genuinely enjoyed the chemistry and the scenes that Prabhas and Pooja Hegde had together.
I agree.
కొన్ని కొన్ని aspects లో కొంచెం falter అయినాయి, like the whole pretending death or practicing death scene. That was a bit over the top. But other than that, I think in general, the chemistry they had, especially in the songs, right? It whether it was Iratale, they don't meet at all in Iratale song, but it's still you see that. You see the link in that song. And then I think it was the one song that Sid Sriram sang. I don't remember it. I don't remember the name of that song. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Um, it was oh yeah. It was Nagumo Mutarale, sung by
Mm.
Sid Sriram. That was a good one. And then of course the dance, like the big ball dance song, Nindele. Well, that was also really good.
నిన్న రేపు అన్ని
So
మర్చిపో.
the chemistry between the two leads, I think, was really
ఇది
nice in the film.
ఆఖరి రోజులు గడిపేద్దాం.
I thought the thing is, right? Like we've seen so many like forced love stories before in a
Hmm.
sense where like we know like the bad side of like just placing a heroine in, having a love
Hmm.
track that's like literally
Hmm.
the most useless thing you've ever seen,
Yeah.
and just like you it actually just makes you feel like, oh my god, why did you put the heroine in this movie if you were just going to
Hmm.
just force a love track, right?
Hmm.
That was not this movie at all. I thought,
Yeah.
like, for the most part, again,
Hmm.
not all of them, but for the most part, the
Hmm.
love scenes weren't forced in this movie at all. And
I
in a
agree.
movie like this, bro, if you don't have the love track, it's not a movie, bro. Like,
Hmm.
because that's just like the concept of the whole entire thing, right?
Hmm.
Like, if you're doing like this whole entire concept on like astrology and like
Hmm.
philosophy and don't have love in it, bro,
Hmm.
and love being like the concept of sort of like unknown, right? Like it can just happen at any given moment.
Fate versus destiny.
Yes, exactly. And that's what the concept that this movie is going for, right?
Hmm.
If you don't have love and if you don't have a love track that goes well, then this
Hmm.
movie's nothing, bro. And I feel like this
Hmm.
movie had that. It had
Yeah.
that to an extent where you'd be like, it isn't terrible.
Hmm.
It's good. If not, it's actually above average or solid,
Yeah.
which is what I thought it was.
Hmm. And nah, it was definitely a very well done. Love the scenes that Prabhas and Pooja Hegde had throughout the film. It was very well done. Their chemistry was nice. Um, and like on that aspect, like when you compare it to some other films that we've seen recently, like when you look at Fighter with Hrithik and Deepika, zero chemistry. And then even when you look at Saho, bro, with Shraddha and Prabhas, they looked good on screen, but I didn't feel like a chemistry or like the romance was actually there.
Yeah,
But I
it
felt it in this film.
in fact, in Saho especially, and like
Hmm.
I keep comparing it because they're both very similar in how they failed, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Saho was a little bit like a lot better in terms of execution
Yeah.
than Radhe Shyam,
Hmm.
but like even in Saho,
Hmm.
it pretty much just came down to like the love scenes just felt forced. It didn't feel
Yeah.
natural at all. Like they tried to
Hmm.
force it in at the end of the movie after they like reveal Prabhas's identity,
Yeah.
but like in this movie, it did not feel to that extent
Hmm.
at all in terms of like falling
Hmm.
under expectation.
Like the scenes where it's like Prabhas
ఇప్పుడు
and
ఎవ్వరూ లేరు.
Pooja
చెప్పు.
Hegde is like, నువ్వేమైనా రోమియో అనుకుంటున్నావా?
Yeah,
And then Prabhas is like, ఛీ
వాడి
వాడు
ప్రేమ
ప్రేమ
కోసం
కోసం చచ్చాడు,
చచ్చాడు.
నేను ఆ టైప్ కాదు.
నేను
Like
టైప్
it just
కాదు.
works, you know,
yeah,
the scenes
yeah.
they had between, I liked those scenes. It was cute, it was nice. It was nice. But yeah, what's another aspect you think like really worked in this movie?
Um, Again, I would say visuals
Hmm.
is one, music
Hmm.
is another. We kind of
Yeah.
briefly covered that.
Hmm.
But the other thing is, again, like, I thought the story was fine. The
Hmm.
only problem I had was with there was no cohesion between, first of all, screenplay,
Hmm.
and then also the emotions felt underdeveloped.
Hmm.
And I feel like the underlying thing with that is like the characters felt underdeveloped, bro.
Hmm.
Like other than even like Pooja Hegde's character, I felt like we didn't get enough out of that character.
Hmm.
And same thing with the other supporting characters outside of Prabhas.
Hmm.
I feel like they were kind of just there.
Yeah.
It didn't really feel like we were getting any strong output from them,
Yeah.
which like if you compare to other like movies when it comes to like these kind of philosophical movies or like
Hmm.
concept oriented movies,
Hmm.
you like to have more strong emotion from like
Hmm.
the other viewpoint, right?
Hmm.
Because these are issues or not issues but more so like ideas and ideology that
Hmm.
like you want to hear different viewpoints from, because then
Hmm.
it opens your eyes as a viewer, right?
Yeah.
మనం చూసినప్పుడు మనకు ఎలా అనిపించాలంటే ఓ ఈ పాయింట్ కూడా కరెక్టే కానీ ఈ
Hmm.
పాయింట్లో కూడా కొంచెం అర్థం ఉంది అని మనకు
Yeah.
అలా కొంచెం అనిపించాలి కొంచెం
Hmm.
కొంచెంగా. తర్వాత మనకి అర్థం అవుద్ది బై ది ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద మూవీ, ఓ సో ఇదన్నమాట మొత్తం కదా అని.
Hmm.
Then you can piece together stuff as a viewer and be like,
Yeah.
this makes sense.
Hmm.
But if you underdevelop the characterizations for the supporting
Hmm.
characters and then also don't draw emotion out of them,
Hmm.
then you're not going to get the strong result that you want from a movie like this.
Yeah. Nah, you're right. Because there's like a good amount of supporting characters in this film when you think about it. You have Priyadarshi's in there, Jairam's in there, Jagapati Babu has like a small role. So like you have all these characters and it's kind of like వాళ్ళకు కూడా ఏదో they need to add they should have added something else, right? Like they have Prabhas's mom. They had ఆయన పేరు మర్చిపోయాను రా ప్రభాస్ వాళ్ళ పెద్ద నాన్న. He plays the role. He plays like the Swamiji. Krishnam Raj Garu.
Yes,
Krishnam Raj
yes,
Garu.
yes.
He's in the movie, right? He's Prabhas's Paddanana in real life, but like Guruji in this movie, right? He has his role.
Prabal.
So like it feels like all of these are there, but like a full act other than maybe Krishnam Raj Garu in a few scenes, it and the impact it's a side character live. But
Yeah.
the overall flow of the story, like you mentioned, barring a few screenplay issues, the overall story I think was decent. Um, so I think I would agree with you on that aspect of it. But in
Yep.
that music mention, Jason, definitely for me, music was a huge plus, bro. The music that was I don't remember. I think they had multiple uh music directors, especially in like the Hindi version. But like Justin Prabhakaran was like the main music director
Mm-hmm.
um for the songs, and then they had Taman do the BGM. So the music and the BGM all worked really well in the film, and I think that was a major added point. And even before the movie came out, the songs were really well received by the audience. They like
Yeah.
if I don't remember wrong, the songs were done very well, and they were received very positively throughout the promotion of the film. But yeah.
I thought if this movie nailed the story aspect of it, bro,
Hmm.
because it felt so like it felt
Hmm.
so like lazy
Yeah.
in a sense. Like
Hmm.
maybe lazy is like too harsh of a word, but more so
Hmm.
like it felt too simple for me,
Hmm.
considering how strong of a topic it is, especially for us as Hindus and Indians, right?
Hmm.
Like the importance of like astrology and the
Hmm.
belief we have in astrology. Like this movie,
The Jatakam and all that.
yes,
Yeah.
like the influence, like we know a certain amount of it,
Hmm.
but like the previous generations before us, we
Hmm.
see how like depending on the type of family that you're in, you
Hmm.
usually can see how like strong of an influence that
Hmm.
Jatakalu and astrology have
Hmm.
in just everyday decisions and
Yeah.
like the belief that like of fate and destiny, right?
Hmm.
And like this movie had such a good way, had like such a good like potential
Concept.
or concept to go
Yeah.
ahead and execute that, and it just like fell too short for me. Like they got too lazy with actually nailing the details and talking
Hmm.
about different types of viewpoints, bro. And like
Hmm.
that's what bothered me really,
Hmm.
because it just felt like a routine love story
Hmm.
mixed in with the idea, rather than
No,
the
I
focus
agree
being
with you.
mainly the philosophy
Hmm.
and the astrology. That's what
Hmm.
bothered me. Because if you were going
So
to make a routine love story, bro, then you can just make it about
yeah.
anything else. Don't throw the philosophy stuff in
Hmm.
there.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you on that aspect because when the whole promotion of the film and throughout everything, it was like the main character is a astrologer and he's a very good astrologer and whatever he says will come true. But this is a love story. Like I still remember the first
I
మనకి
can sense your
introduction to
depth,
Vikramaditya అనకి teaser
but
release
no,
అయింది.
Yeah.
I
Prabhas is
forget.
in his office. He's laying down. Like
I
ఇలా
know
వెనకాల చేతులు
everything,
పెట్టుకుని ఒక black suit లో he's
yet
laying down.
I
And he's
won't
like, I
tell
know what
you
will happen to you, but I won't tell you.
because it's
Yeah.
I know
beyond
your
your
future, but I
understanding.
won't tell you. My name is Vikramaditya, and I can predict whatever.
My
And ఒక
name is
మంచి full
Vikramaditya.
nice
I'm
BGM
no
తో ఒక
god,
full amazing
but I'm
character
not
intro
one of
ఇస్తారు.
your
And we're like, oh
Devra.
shit, we're in for a ride. Like, at least for me, when I was thinking, I'm pretty sure a lot of other people thought that with that character intro, that we're getting a really good film that grapples with the ideology of fate versus destiny, and like how an astrologer who falls in love and how he has to deal with his fate and destiny, right? I thought that's what we are going to get into. I thought it was going to be some sort of film where it's like, okay, the heroine is in trouble constantly, and the hero has to go against what his beliefs are in astrology to fight for his love, which is what we get at the end of the movie, like at the very like last 20-30 minutes in a 2.5 hour movie. The actual plot of hero fighting his destiny is only at the last 30 minutes. And I think just screenplay wise, that's not what I was expecting, you know?
And the main thing, right? Like
Hmm.
there were like bits of it. Like I'm not going to say there was
Yeah.
none of it. Like there were bits of it. Like the if I remember correctly, the train scene being one of them, where
Hmm.
he's like thinking about the future and then he goes ahead and stops the train, right?
He
Like
tries
there's
to stop the train.
yeah, like tries to stop the train.
Hmm.
Like if they expanded more on stuff like that and
Hmm.
it was back and forth throughout the whole movie, like stuff
Hmm.
like that,
Hmm.
then I feel like this movie would have been stronger, bro. Like,
Yeah.
cause that scene specifically
Hmm.
epitomizes like what I expected from the movie, or like what I
Yeah.
wish was there,
You
if
have a
you're going to go with
person
a concept
who,
like this.
you have a person who can understand and read the fate and the future of everyone in the world. And he tries, and if he sees a tragedy, he tries to stop it. And what sort of thing will happen if it fires back on him, or like it backfires, and the lengths he will go to do to save someone he has fallen in love with, you know? That's the kind of film I was expecting, but we got something else. And I think that again, I don't know if it was just me, but I'm guessing most of the audience felt that same way because this was one of like it was outright rejected by the majority of the audience. They're like, this
Yeah.
movie is trash, this movie is trash. And that has to do with, I guess, marketing of the film, and I guess also the actual screenplay that Radha Kumar wrote for this movie.
See, here's the thing too, right?
Hmm.
First of all, this is a new attempt in Prabhas's career. If you look
Yeah.
at the type of movies that he has done before and the movies he was coming off of,
Hmm.
okay? Two, if you're doing a new concept, new genre with an actor, it has to
Hmm.
be a strong attempt. It can't even
Hmm.
be like a half attempt, or
Yeah.
like have flaws, or like underwhelming attempt, right? Like
Hmm.
it has to be
Hmm.
like out of the box, new and
Hmm.
strong. That's the
Hmm.
only way an audience will receive it,
Hmm.
like cuz it's new. Like
Yeah.
when we think of like a certain person's movie, it's like a genuine like this is what we expect. Regardless of seeing everything, we'll just be like, okay, we go to this hero's movie, this is what we're expecting.
Hmm.
So in that sense, the preparation also has to come from
Hmm.
being like you have to over prepare.
Hmm.
You have to overstuff the concept or
Yeah.
overstuff on the technical aspects of the film so that it actually makes sense for
Mm-hmm.
you know, a fan's perspective in terms of how
Mm-hmm.
they view that hero, or like a
If you're
general audience
doing something
perspective.
like this, you gotta dive into the deep end. You gotta go
Because
fully
that's
to it.
how the biggest, even flop movies
Mm-hmm.
that have been like new concepts,
Yeah.
people will go back and watch
Mm-hmm.
and be like, how did we flop this movie? Because
Mm-hmm.
if you go back and watch it, it was a technically sound movie. But the
Mm-hmm.
only reason the reaction was bad was because it's new. It's just new
Mm-hmm.
for that hero, and you didn't see it like that before. So you didn't know how to
Mm-hmm.
react at a first hand theater reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go back and watch it later and actually think about it. Because
Mm-hmm.
usually the best movies that you realize are the ones that you go
Mm-hmm.
back and watch at home
Mm-hmm.
and actually just watch it peacefully, bro. Not with
Yeah.
the theater hype and just
Mm-hmm.
the audience hype.
Mm-hmm. And but stepping away from that story aspect for a bit, like obviously that's one of the main reasons that this movie didn't work out for a lot of people. But another reason I feel like this movie, what went wrong with this movie was just the looks of Prabhas in a bit, bro.
I agree, bro.
Right? Like, cause Prabhas ante straight up, he was like lady's heartthrob, oka darling, oka Mr. Perfect, oka Mirchi.
Farsham, bro.
Varsham ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ అండ్ బాహుబలి లో సినిమాలో ఫుల్ రాజు లాగా సిక్స్ ప్యాక్ ఫుల్ నైస్ బాడీ వేసుకుని ద లాంగ్ హెయిర్ బీట్ బాక్స్ ఆఫీస్ కా బాద్షాలా ఉంటాడు ప్రభాస్ right? And especially coming after Bahubali. When you go to after coming off of Bahubali, I get they wanted to try something different with his look because he has had that long hair and the beard and all that for a really long time. So they కొంచెం ఆ ఫస్ట్ హాఫ్ లో కొంచెం సైడ్ పార్ట్ షార్ట్ హెయిర్ క్లీన్ షేప్ ట్రై చేశారు. చూడటానికి ఓకేగా ఉంది. And but second half of Saho, they made it. They went back to some of the beard, some a bit of the rugged look, longer hair, and చేశారు. When you come to Radhe Shyam, it was like ఒక్కొక్క ఫ్రేమ్ కి ప్రభాస్ లుక్ వేరేగా ఉండేది. Right? He would look really good in one scene, and then he would look really bad in the next scene. I'm not talking about his outfits or anything. Outfits and all were fine. It's the actual like his look in the film, like his face
Yeah,
look
like
in the
his
film.
actual like raw looks, not even
Mhm.
outfits, costumes, or
ఇప్పుడు
anything.
మేమేం పెద్ద ప్రభాస్ లా ఉంటాం అందుకని జడ్జ్ చేయట్లేదు అని అనట్లేదు. See, I am not Prabhas. This Pavan is also not Prabhas. We're not judging him. We're saying anta bagunde oka manishi ila nenduku chesaru. See, my mom likes Prabhas a lot, bro. She likes the way he looks. She watched Radhe Shyam is like, ain't ila unnadu?
Yeah,
And I'm like, and she even accepted Saho's look, bro.
yeah,
She will never get over the Radhe Shyam look.
yeah.
ఒక సీన్ ఉంటుంది ఆ సీన్ లో సపోజిట్లీ 500 కిలోమీటర్ల బైక్ లో వచ్చాడంట ఆర్ సంథింగ్ లైక్ దట్ ఆర్ సమ్ అవర్స్ 5 hours హీ డ్రోవ్ ఇన్ అ బైక్ ఇన్ ద రెయిన్ అక్కడ లిక్కిస్తాడ్రా నీ గర్ల్ ఫ్రెండ్ కోసం లైక్ నువ్వు ఇష్టపడే ఒక అమ్మాయి కోసం 5 hours అంత కష్టపడి బైక్ లో వస్తే కొంచెం టైర్డ్ గా ఉంటావు బట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు స్టిల్ షో దట్ రొమాంటిక్ లుక్ ఆన్ ద ఫేస్ ప్రభాస్ లుక్ అసలు ఎలా పడతాడంటే ఇప్పుడు ఈ పిల్ల కోసం నేను ఎందుకు వచ్చాను ఇప్పుడు 5 గంటలు డ్రైవ్ చేసుకుని వచ్చాను అనేది నాకు నిద్ర వస్తుంది నేను పడుకుంటాను అని లుక్ ఇస్తాడు so that look just does not work and especially like throughout the film he has full clean shave the stubble but light stubble ఉంటుంది and it just అది వర్క్ అవుదరా ఫేస్ చూడటానికి వేరే వింతగా ఉంటుంది అది
Yeah.
ప్రభాస్ ఫేస్ లా ఉండదు I don't know if they did any digital enhancing to make his face look better or something but whatever they did this did not work because when you look at Prabhas off-screen looks during that time so good man.
The
Prabhas
main
off-screen
thing
looks are
ఏంటంటే
always so good.
కొన్నిసార్లు మూవీ
Yeah.
చూసినప్పుడు కూడా ఇలాంటి కొన్ని మూవీలు మనకు అసలు డౌట్ వచ్చింది అనమాట. ఎందుకంటే
Hmm.
ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్స్
Hmm.
అంటే యాక్టర్స్ ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్స్
Hmm.
అయితే మేకప్ లుక్తో
Exactly. Yeah.
ఓవర్ డూ చేశారా మనకే
Hmm.
డౌట్ వచ్చింది.
Hmm.
అండ్ ఆ డౌట్ నాకు ఈ మూవీతో వచ్చింది. ఎందుకంటే
Yeah.
లైక్ దాట్ వాజ్ సార్ట్ ఆఫ్ లైక్ నాకేమనిపించిందంటే అసలు ప్రభాస్ ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్స్ అయిపోయినాయా. ప్రభాస్
Hmm.
ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్సే కదా అతని స్ట్రాంగ్ సూట్. చాలా
Yeah.
న్యాచురల్గా ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్స్ ఇస్తాడు. ఒక్క
Hmm.
లుక్ ఇస్తే చాలు ఒక 2-3
Hmm.
ఎమోషన్స్ ఈజీగా కన్వే చేయగలరు ప్రభాస్.
Hmm.
ఏ మూవీలో చూసినా ఒక ఛత్రపతి కానీ ఒక
Yeah.
బాహుబలి కానీ ఏ మూవీ చూసినా కొన్నిసార్లు మన ప్రభాస్ జస్ట్ ఒక స్టిల్ లుక్ ఇచ్చిన
Hmm.
ఇన్ని ఎమోషన్స్ ఎలా కన్వే చేస్తున్నాడు ఒక షాట్ లో అని అనిపించింది మనకి
And
అసలు
it's
ఈ
not
మూవీలో
saying like,
ఒక్కసారి కూడా కనిపించలేదు
yeah,
నాకు
and
అలా.
it's not saying like people sometimes say like, ah, he's older, he's 40 plus, he can't do it. It's like, no, he did it in Salar and he did it in Kalki. We got those sort of looks and the expressions and good vibes and good face features from Salar and Kalki, which came out after Radhe Shyam. So it was, so I don't know what, I definitely think it was like some sort of makeup or some sort of digital like de-aging or something they tried to do for him in this movie, bro. Because
సలార్లో కూడా చాలా న్యాచురల్ గా ఉన్నాడు కదా బ్రో.
yeah, he looks
లైక్
very
లైక్
natural in
ఈజ్
Salar.
సలార్ అసలు అది కంప్లీట్లీ లార్జర్ దెన్ లైఫ్ క్యారెక్టర్.
Yeah.
దాంట్లో అసలు కొంచెం చాలా లాజిక్స్ తీసేసి ఫైట్
Hmm.
సీన్స్ చేస్తారు. కానీ
Hmm.
ఈవెన్ దెన్ యాక్చువల్గా అతను లుక్ చూస్తే ప్యూర్
Hmm.
లుక్ ఏం
Hmm.
క్యారెక్టర్ చూసినా ఆ మూవీలో
Yeah.
అండ్ ప్రభాస్ ఇంక్లూడెడ్
Hmm.
చాలా న్యాచురల్ గా ఉంటాయి మొత్తం.
Exactly.
అండ్
Yeah.
దెన్ ఆ మూవీకి ఈవెన్ రాధేశ్యామ్ అండ్ సాహో రెండిటితో
Hmm.
కంపేర్ చేస్తే ఆ
Hmm.
మూవీ న్యాచురల్ గా ఉండిద్ది. ఆ
Yeah.
మూవీకి ఇప్పటికి అసలు ఎంత గ్యాప్ వచ్చింది టైం వైజ్.
Hmm. Yeah. No, that's so true. That's so true.
ఎన్ని
And
ఇయర్స్
so
అవుతుంది అసలు సాహో రాధేశ్యామ్ వచ్చి?
Sahil was 2019. Radhesham was 22. I think it got delayed because of
యా.
COVID. But still, like when you look at it's Salar came out late 24. Sorry, no, sorry, late 23. So almost a year and a half later. So only like a year. So if you think about it like that, just 1.5 year, Prabhas looks very ankala change hota hai ante. How will we believe, man?
యా అసలు ఎలా
So that
నమ్ముతాం
means
అసలు?
they did something different in Radhe Shyam. I don't know what they did, but please don't do it again. And whatever the hell,
ప్లీజ్ డోంట్ డూ ఇట్ అగైన్.
and don't ever do whatever the hell they did with my main man Prabhas in Adipurush. Like that that is just that is just a horror show. So we'll talk about Adipurush another day, but I just wanted to get that
నో
out
బ్రో,
there
no
saying
no 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 no, I don't even know if we can talk about it, bro. There is nothing that went right in that movie, bro. They left a seat for Hanuman, bro, and Hanuman flew away, bro. He left, bro. Like, come on, man.
nah. But other than back to Radhe Shyam, dude. Yeah, just whatever you guys did, future Prabhas makers, like Maruti Garu. I think Maruti is taking good looks of Prabhas. Like we've seen the Radhe, like the Raja Sab looks. Vanga for sure. I know he'll cook with Prabhas's look, bro. Like Vanga,
I mean,
please.
Vanga, there's no doubt, bro.
Yeah,
It's because
please.
his movies are just natural, bro. He doesn't do a lot
Hmm.
of visual effects. He doesn't do a lot of.
Hmm.
It's very just raw camera work, bro.
Yeah. And
Like that's
then I
literally his
know,
specialty.
yeah, and then I know obviously Salar too. Neil will cook again.
Yeah, Prashant Neel
And
Angalam will take care of us, bro.
exactly, he'll cook it again. And whoever is next up on the line, I hope, dude, Anu Raghavapudi will always make a hero look great, bro.
Yeah.
Anu Raghavapudi will always make a hero look great. He did it in Sita Ramam. He did it in Padi Padi Leche.
Nagi will
Nagi
take
will
care
take care
of
of
Prabhas,
Kalki,
bro.
bro. Like he did so good in Kalki. He'll cook again in Kalki too. And he's saying that this time they'll focus more on Prabhas's
Yo, that's
character.
actually a good point, though, bro.
Exactly.
No, 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 like Kalki, right? That
Hmm.
just reminded me. Kalki is like the
Hmm.
peak of digital effects to create
Yeah.
like world building, right?
Hmm.
And even in that movie, bro,
It was
the
all natural.
looks
The only
are
person,
very
yeah,
natural
the
compared to
only person
Radheshyam.
that used prosthetic makeup was Amitabh
Yeah,
and Kamal
Kamal
Hassan.
Hassan.
Amitabh Bachchan and Kamal Hassan were the only two people to use digital makeup or like prosthetic makeup or have any digital sort of retouch. And even the de-aging of Amitabh Bachchan in like the flashback scenes was done so well. And the prosthetic makeup for both Kamal Hassan and Amitabh Bachchan worked so well as well.
Yeah.
So I'm 100% sure Nagi will take care of Prabhas and his looks in Kalki too. But no, coming back to Radhe Shyam. So we talked about what aspects didn't work. I mean, yeah, story-wise, it faltered. Screenplay-wise, Prabhas looks-wise, it faltered. But for me, the biggest rod was the Titanic ending, bro. That was the biggest rod in that movie. Why the hell did he get on a freaking ship? Why did that ship sink? What the hell happened? What was the point of that? పూజ ఎత్తేనేమో ఎక్కడో యాక్సిడెంట్ లో జరుగుద్ది, ఈడేమో షిప్ లో మునిగిపోతూ ఉంటాడు. పో ఈ ఫేట్ వర్సెస్ డెస్టినీ కాన్సెప్ట్ రాధా నో కెమెరాను ను అటు తిప్పి ఇటు తిప్పి ఇటు తిప్పి అసలు తిప్పి 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 చేసి చివరికి మనకి అది ఇచ్చాడు. నేనేమో ఎందుకు నిజం చెప్పాలంటే రాధేశ్యామ్ లాంటి సినిమా ఎక్కడో యూరోప్ లో ఇంగ్లాండ్ లో తీయక్కలేదు, అమలాపురంలో తీసిన కథ అలానే ఉంటుంది. అక్కడే యూరోప్ లో తీశారు కాబట్టి మెడిటరేనియన్ సీలో సునామీ ఎక్కడ వచ్చిందిరా? నువ్వు చెప్పు నాకు అది. మెడిటరేనియన్ సీలో సునామీ ఎక్కడ వచ్చింది? ఐ వాంట్ టు నో దట్ ఆన్సర్ టు దట్ క్వశ్చన్ రైట్ నౌ. ఇట్ వోంట్ కమ్. ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ కమ్. Because it is not possible to have a tsunami fucking 100 feet tall in the middle of the Mediterranean Ocean. అక్కడేమో యూరోప్ లో పెట్టాడు కాబట్టి ఒక పెద్ద కార్గో షిప్ పెట్టాడు, అమలాపురంలో తీసుంటే ఒక చిన్న పిల్ల కాలు పెట్టాడు, అంతే తేడా.
మిగతా సేమ్ టు సేమ్.
యా, I'm telling you, bro, that ship ending is what already కొంచెం నాశనం అయిపోయింది
So
సినిమా.
sunk the movie, bro.
It sunk the movie. Sunk the movie, సంక నాకిపోయింది సినిమా అక్కడే. I'm
Hey,
telling you, bro,
hey,
if
Mallesh said. What a rhyming, man.
థ్యాంక్ యూ అలా అలా పడుద్ది కొన్ని కొన్నిసార్లు. ఏమయ్యా చెప్పలేదా మా వాడికి నా టైమింగ్ గురించి? Nah, but I'm being dead ass serious, bro. If they didn't have that Titanic level ending, bro, the movie could have been somewhat salvageable. అది అదేదో పెద్ద బడ్జెట్ సినిమా, ప్రభాస్ ఆఫ్టర్ బాహుబలి పెద్దగా చేయలేదు. ఈ ఇరక్కొట్టాలని ఏదో
లేదు
చెప్పారు.
కానీ అది కూడా ఒక ప్రాబ్లం అయి ఉండేది కదా. లైక్
Mm,
లైక్ సాహో, రాధేశ్యామ్, ఈవెన్ ఆది పురుష్ కూడా
yeah.
ఆల్మోస్ట్ అదొక
Nah,
రొటీన్ లాగా.
Adi Purush was 100% Bondam's fault. It was not nothing else. Adi 100% that is the Karta Krama Kriya of Om Raut Bondam only. I will not put any blame on anyone else.
ఓకే.
That was because of Bhushan Kumar, T series, and Bondam thinking that we'll try Avatar, but they made Adi Purush. What is this
కానీ
chatta?
ఆ రెండు అటెంప్ట్స్ మాత్రం సాహో,
Mm,
రాధేశ్యామ్ నాకు ఎలా అనిపించిందంటే బాహుబలి
yeah.
బాహుబలి
Nah,
అని
100%, bro.
అని లైక్ ఒక ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్ ఉండిద్ది కదా. ఈ
Mhm.
డైరెక్టర్స్కి ఇచ్చిన తర్వాత వాళ్ళకి కూడా అనిపించింది, ఓ ఇప్పుడు అసలు రాజమౌళి ఈ స్థాయికి తీసుకెళ్ళాడు ప్రభాస్ని, మనం కూడా ఒక న్యూ
Mhm.
యాంగిల్ ఇవ్వాలి,
Yeah.
ఇలా ఓవర్ బ్లో చేయాలి అని
Mhm.
కొంచెం ఆ ఫోకస్ పోద్దని అనిపించింది. అండ్
Sahoki
అండ్
definitely గా పడింది.
ఆనెస్ట్గా మాట్లాడుకుందాం, మళ్ళీ
Mm,
డిస్క్లైమర్ లాగా మాట్లాడుకుందాం. ఏంటంటే
mm.
we do not make movies.
Yeah.
We are not telling people how to make movies.
Yeah.
That is not what we're doing.
Mm.
కానీ ఒక్క రీజనింగ్, like if you want to think of one reasoning, that
Mhm.
could be it. It
Yeah.
could be Prabhas had
Sahoki
such a
definitely గా
range
పడిందిరా. Mm,
that you overdid it. You
mhm.
lost track of what happened, and that could have been the reason why the output was like that.
Yeah. No, Sahoki definitely గా అయితే పడింది because it started off as an action adventure,
Yeah,
but then it became India's biggest action adventure.
yeah,
ఇది కూడా ఒక లవ్ స్టోరీగా స్టార్ట్ అయ్యి ఇండియాస్ బిగ్గెస్ట్ లవ్ స్టోరీగా అయింది. సో ఆ ఎఫెక్ట్ డెఫినెట్ గా పడింది. బట్ అగైన్ ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ రాధేశ్యామ్లో ఆ బోట్ సీన్ కాకుండా, if like we said, this is not an issue with just the ending. The overall screenplay had this issue where they delved too deep into the love story aspect of it, but they didn't talk too much into the fate versus destiny aspect of the film,
oh,
which is what the main hook of the movie was.
yeah.
So
Should
if they
have been.
fleshed that concept out more, I think they could have somehow justified the boat scene if they still went with it. Right. But మరీ అసలు లాస్ట్ 20-30 minutes లోనే ఆ మెయిన్ ఫేట్ వర్సెస్ డెస్టినీ గురించి మాట్లాడుకుని లాస్ట్ 10 minutes లో బోత్ సీన్ పెట్టేసి ఇదిగోండి ఇదే మీ సినిమా అని అంటే వీఆర్ నాట్ ఇయర్ పర్పస్ టు బిలీవ్ దట్,
Yeah.
యునో. And on top of that, the graphics, the rest of the movie was fine, bro. The
అసలు ఈ మూవీ
graphics and the
బడ్జెట్ కూడా చాలా
visuals,
ఎక్కువ కదా.
yeah, it was huge,
అసలు
bro.
ఇంత బడ్జెట్ ఎందుకు ఇలాంటి మూవీ తీస్తే?
They
లైక్
didn't need it.
ఎందుకంటే చాలా సింపుల్ మూవీ కదా, స్టోరీ లైన్ వైజ్
Mm-hmm.
మాట్లాడుకుంటే.
Mm-hmm.
కొంచెం ఎక్కువ స్టోరీ పెట్టుకొని
Mm-hmm.
తర్వాత కొంచెం స్టోరీకి తగ్గట్టు విజువల్స్ ఎఫెక్ట్స్ అప్పుడు ఇస్తే కొంచెం అర్థం
Yeah.
చేసుకోవచ్చు.
hmm And again, it was the graphics of the ending scene and the ship. It looked like freaking Temple Run and Subway Surfers level graphics, bro.
Yeah.
Prabhas was running up the ship, to jumping over the containers and all. I'm like, hey, Temple Run, hey, Subway Surfers, hey, come on, I want to play, I want to play. And a types లో వచ్చింది. It's like, no, dude, come on, కొంచెం ఏదో పెట్టాలి. But yeah, I mean that was my main those were my main issues with the film, bro. I think other I know we talked a lot about what went wrong, but the thing is I still somehow, I don't know why, enjoyed it a little bit.
నాకు ఆ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఇష్టం బ్రో. లైక్
I like
ఆనెస్ట్గా
the concept of
మాట్లాడాలంటే
it
ఐ
exactly.
లైక్ దట్
Mhm.
కాన్సెప్ట్. అండ్ సో
I
లైక్
like the
ఇనిషియలీ నేను ఆ
character of
మూవీ చూసినప్పుడు కూడా
Vikramaditya.
లైక్ నాకు
hmm
ఆ క్యారెక్టర్ కాన్సెప్ట్లోనే స్టక్ అయ్యి ఉండి
hmm
నేను కొంచెం అంత అనలైజ్ అని కాదు కానీ అంత ఆలోచించలేకపోయాను. అంత
Exactly, yeah.
తర్వాత కొంచెం కొంచెం గ్యాప్ తీసుకొని ఆలోచిస్తే
hmm
లేదు ఈ మూవీ అంత
hmm
అంత ఆ రేంజ్కి వెళ్ళలేదని అనిపించింది.
Yeah.
కానీ కాన్సెప్ట్ వైజ్ నాకు చాలా ఇష్టం. అండ్ సో దట్స్ వై ఐ హావ్ కొంచెం
Concept
సాఫ్ట్
wise I liked it.
సాఫ్ట్ స్పాట్ ఉంది.
I like the character of Vikramaditya.
యా,
And I like the chemistry that
చాలా
Pooja
న్యూగా
Hegde and
ఉంది.
Prabhas had in the film. Exactly, yeah.
ఇప్పుడు
This
చేయలేదు
is not
ఇలాంటి
the
మూవీ ప్రభాస్.
this is not the kind of script or film that a character like Vikramaditya should have gotten, bro.
యా,
I'm telling you, సరిగ్గా తీసుంటే మంచిగా ఉండేది సినిమా.
అవును.
సరిగ్గా తీసుంటే but that's like the whole thing,
అసలు
right?
టీఎఫ్ఐ లోనే చాలా కొత్తగా ఉండేది.
It would have been a new attempt, yeah. And I feel like that's what a lot of these what went wrong videos are about. It's the fact that what could have been versus what we got, bro.
యా,
That's the thing, because these movies, like we did Guntur Garam Devara so far, right? And now we're doing Radhe Shyam. It's what could have been with all those movies, but what we ended up getting was just disappointment at the end
yeah.
of the
Like
day.
it's not just a purely what went wrong, bro.
hmm
Like we could rename the series to what could have been, bro, because that's the
What could have been
pattern that most of
exactly?
these movies are ending up being,
Yeah.
you know?
hmm Yeah. I think that is a good place to end it in this episode of what went wrong with or what could have been for Real Telugu talks. But yeah, overall, Radhe Shyam, good concept, lagging screenplay, if you want to put it in one sentence. Yeah. But all right, guys, thank you for watching the video up to now. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Comment down what you liked about Radhe Shyam or what you didn't like about Radhe Shyam either. And let us also know what other movies we can do for what went wrong or what other movies we should deep dive in the other playlist. And again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.